Hello everyone, sue.oneschuk back here again in this video to continue the lessons of A Course in Miracles. And we're continuing in review 3, and we are on lesson 112. And these lessons are much shorter, although it's important for us to be reflecting on these every half hour. And that, again, may be quite a challenge, although it is an opportunity to continue to practice undoing the ego thought system. You know, we're not the ego. We're not this body. And we will further learn in this lesson, review again, the truth of who we are. And I'll address that after I read these lessons. So it says, for morning and evening review, number 1 from lesson 93 is light and joy and peace abide in me. It says, I am the home of light and joy and peace. I welcome them into the home I share with God because I am a part of Him. And the second is from lesson 94. I am as God created me. Now we are repeating this lesson. This is the third time because it also was in lesson 110. So it says, I will remain forever as I was by the changeless like Himself. And I am one with Him and He with me. So on the hour, we reflect on light and joy and peace abide in me. On the half hour, I am as God created me. So as I reflect on this lesson, you know, it's reminding me again that I am not the ego. It's a thought system. It's from that thought system, I created an identity, which in doing the Course in Miracles, I work to every day undo that thought system when it arrives. So I want to review a little bit today about this ego identity that is so easy to fall back in because it's so habitual. And this, you know, in doing this lesson, in these lessons, you know, to remember every half hour. Yes, that is possibly a challenge for you if you're beginning these lessons. But even those of us that are seasoned Course in Miracles students, it still can be a challenge to remember every hour. But let's remember that whatever we practice this lesson, it makes a huge difference. So again, the ego is a version of ourselves that we've created in our mind. And the ego likes to label ourselves and to label others. And, you know, so we may be labeling ourselves, particularly if we haven't connected at depth with who we are as our higher self, as our holy self, in our innocence. The ego sees us as unworthy, that we're not deserving. You may find yourself caught up in the ego thought system in a sense of lack of confidence, or I'm not good enough. And the ego is past and future oriented. Just take a look at where you're caught up in past, being a victim of the past, for example, or that you're looking far ahead in the future with fear. It doesn't mean we don't set goals or have a vision, but how much of it is fear-based? You're not moving from a situation right now that is not life-giving because you're afraid of what you might lose rather than what you could gain by moving out of, like, a job that's not working for you, or a relationship that's not working for you. But it's comfortable to be in that relationship because you got a roof over your head. Again, the ego is fear-based. And the ego, take a look, the ego gives love to get love. Again, the ego looks outward versus inward. And again, the ego is separated from God. Doesn't believe that we are connected when we're in that thought system. We don't believe we're connected with God. Excuse me. And excuse me, life, the ego sees life as a competition. And it definitely is based on the scarcity principle of lack. That can be lack in many forms. I mentioned lack of confidence. Lack of, versus abundance. So as we're doing these lessons, we're reinforcing, the light, the joy, and the peace that abides in each one of us. It's already there. It gets blocked out by all what I just addressed. Because when we're focusing on all that ego thought system, we are not present to the love and joy and peace. And also, we're not present to that I am created, or I am as God created me, that I am love, that I am innocent, that I am holiness, that I am peace, I am joy, I am happiness, I am abundance. So again, this course is all about raising our awareness to where we identify with an ego thought system, and we're not the ego. And again, the ego analyzes. So we want to be cautious of where we're over intellectualizing this course, and rather than being in the space of extending love. So the higher self, the truth of who we are, is our authentic self, that we are love. We're free from conditioning. Ego identity is all conditional love. In our holy self, there's no conditions to love. It's unconditional love. And and our holy self, the soul is labelless. There's no labels. And when we are in our higher self, we are present to the now moment. And just breathe into the now moment. And for me, in the moment, it's like, be grateful. Really be grateful for all that is available to me when I am in the space of my higher self. And really, we're here to serve others. And when we look inward and we feel this peace, joy, and love, there's the freedom to be able to extend love and serve others. Because from that space, we're drawn to love. It just becomes an automatic, because that's who we're being. From a holy self, we see life as a gift rather than problems. Just think this again. Think, it's the mind. Look back at how many problems that you're constantly trying to solve from an ego, which is nothing. The ego's not going to solve a problem. It's releasing any of those thoughts. This is undoing, the ego thought system. Again, this is a mind training. And releasing those thoughts to the Holy Spirit. And, we're on a soul's journey here. We're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience and reaching to that higher self and our connectedness to God. The Holy Spirit connects us to the God self. The Holy Spirit is doing the work for us when we turn it over. That's the act of forgiveness, releasing any self-judgment, any blame, any judgment of others, any condemnation of self or others, to release it all to the Holy Spirit, and then be willing to receive the guidance and direction of the Holy Spirit. And from the Holy Self, we feel the abundance within. There's where it starts. We keep looking for it outwardly. And this is all about going within and finding our inner abundance. And the soul is wisdom, whereas the ego is always seeking wisdom. So that's what I want to say in terms of these lessons, and this lesson, is again, we're either in fear, which is not real, or we're in the space of love. And the fear is ego edging God out, and love is connected, being in that connectedness, which is always there, our connection with God. Keep it simple. And again, just take a look at how the ego does not want us to look at the fears that are underlying all of this lack and insecurity and striving for safety, all of those things. So that's what I want to say for today, and I hope that's helpful. And again, today's lessons are on the hour, light and joy and peace abide in me, and on the half hour, I am as God created me. All right. I look forward to being with you for the next lesson, which will be lesson 113. And yes, continue to practice. It's the practice and the practice that'll bring us into what is already there, the light. Again, this distinction too, I want to, the ego is darkness and God is light, and you are light and you are love. All right. Please remember to like this video, to comment, share this video out. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Keep reminding each and every one of you that this, affects the algorithms and helps to build this channel, this YouTube channel, and to get the word out to those who are looking for peace, joy, love in their life, not knowing that it's already within. All right, I'll leave it at that. I think I've said all that I'm to say at the end. It's checking in here, yes. And I look forward to being with you in the next video. With much love always.